Hello, welcome to lesson number 7 of unit number 9 on the Kingdom of Funan. In this lesson we're going to be learning about what led to the end of the Funan Kingdom, or the fall of the Funan Kingdom. Alright, so as I said in a previous lesson, Malay people were the ones who provided the ships and who also navigated the oceans for the Chinese and the Indian merchants who would go to trade in Funan. Of course, the Chinese were aware of just how good the Malaysians were at building and sailing these ships. As I said, they were master shipbuilders and navigators. And by the 6th century CE, sailing technologies and navigation technologies became much better. Okay, so sailors were able to sail further and further out into the ocean. In the first few centuries CE, sailors would generally stay very close to the coast so they didn't go too far out to sea and get lost. Right? Because the ships just weren't good enough to stay at sea for very long periods of time without docking somewhere on land. Right? And navigation generally wasn't, or navigation technologies weren't good enough to navigate for long periods of time at sea without going back to land at some point. Okay. But as I said, in about the 6th century, these technologies got much better. Sailors were able to go further into the ocean, to stay there for longer periods of time. So they no longer had to hug the coasts. This sort of allowed sailors to travel across, let's say, the Gulf of Thailand, for instance, and make it all the way to the Strait of Malacca, rather than staying near the coast and then traveling across the Isthmus of Kra. Okay. So by the 6th century AD, the Indian Ocean trade route began to change. Because they no longer used the Isthmus of Kra, generally, or basically, sailors could just sail past modern-day Vietnam and Cambodia to go all the way to modern-day Malaysia, the island of Sumatra, and through the Strait of Malacca. So basically, Funan wasn't needed anymore by the Chinese, who were, of course, the most powerful kingdom in Asia at the time. I'm just going to go back a few slides here so we can get a better idea of how this trade route changed. Alright. Yeah, let's take a look at this map. Alright. So, in the first few centuries CE, a ship probably would have hugged the coast like this. Alright, staying very near to the coast. Okay, and then began trading around here in Funan, and then stayed close to the coast again until they reached the Isthmus of Kra right here, across the Isthmus of Kra, and then again across the Bay of Bengal, but staying very close to land until they got to India. And sailing technologies and navigational technologies got better. A ship could probably follow this route here. Alright, stay at sea for a long period of time. Alright, and let's say go through around the Malaysian Peninsula, through the Strait of Malacca, and then all the way through the Bay of Bengal to India. Alright. If we're looking at this map, again, during the time of Funan, a ship probably would have hugged the coast right here. Alright, come down around this way, docked at Ok Eo, which is around here, did some trading, alright, and then gone back this way, or continued on to India, crossing the Isthmus of Kra, hugging the coast until they got to India. Whereas, in about the 6th or 7th century CE, a ship could have come all the way down here, around the Malaysian Peninsula, through the Strait of Malacca, past the Bay of Bengal until they got to India. Okay, so of course that led to the end of Funan, because Funan was no longer needed if ships could just sail past it. So, as you can imagine, the island of Sumatra, as well as the Malaysian Peninsula, would become more important for the Chinese and Indian traders in the future, which led to another kingdom coming to power in that region. But we'll save that for a future unit. For now, that's all, and thank you very much.